as you guys take the moment, sit down,
Make some pizza rolls.
get a small campfire going because you don't know how long it's going to take for it to get there.
I mean, I'm just gonna constantly be recasting light on the stone when it goes out.
Good berries. We can all eat a good berry.
Are you guys just sitting in silence?
I'm pretty sure like lasts like an hour. Yeah, it's an hour.
We're all fucked up right now, except for her.
No,
She's done.
fine.
Fucked up in the head of wanting him to be alive. You're fine because you won't care. But the rest of us.
I thought we were friends.
We are friends. I just, dead person, stop talking.
That person, stop talking.
I'm gonna sit with his body and I'll just brush the hair out of his face.
Which looks like mashed potatoes at this point.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
Face?
his face.
Burn scars.
Oh.
He still has his armor, boots. Mask was secured to his side.
Does he have
Oh,
the mask?
On that note, when I'm not wearing a mask, it's usually quick to my front.
Yeah.
And it got damaged in some way. I'm not sure quite what the extent is.
Yeah,
but
because the
when
tail would have
pierced
hit
through-
you in the solar plexus. I always imagined you clipped it to your belt.
No, it's almost like a bandolier.
Okay.
So it was kind of
Where your daggers are.
Where a visible dagger. Though.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know if it got like pierced through directly, but it got damaged in some way.
Okay.
I take this. As we're waiting, I was gonna put the mask on his face.
The burn marks.
Is it broken?
There's a chip in it
'Cause I got it
from where it got hit.
Can I mend it?
No! Shit.
If you want to.
I will mend it.
Okay.
Oh.
Give him some disclosure as it's unsettling to see someone that you knew full of life as still. And as you place the mask on his face, it just seems better because he was known for. That's how you knew him. You didn't know him as the Changeling face, and he kind of defined himself by the mask that he wore.
That's
And so you guys sit there. Moments pass. Yes.
Does he still have the necrotic thing?
The necrotic would have been from his chest. It looks like a little bit of a black mark, and what was oozing out black blood has stopped because of the general repose, but it hasn't healed.
So there's still like a
Can I
hole.
use my medicinal knowledge to see if I can heal it or if it has to be a magical thing?
Make an intelligence roll.
I'm gonna guide him. Because give me the thing. Okay, that's intelligence. That's modified 20.
Okay. Did the dirty 20...
Dirty 20.
You remembered that the mark from the infernal poison followed you from your V shape to your regular self.
Mm-hmm.
And it only went away with magical healing.
So her.
My mother did not train me for this.
For the record, Cosmai isn't sitting with the group.
Uh-huh.
She's actually more towards the side, like closer to the lightning tree, and just kind of
Just every minute it starts to fade, just light.
like, but keeping an eye out in the area, but not really like with the group.
I look over at Cosmai. Not even gonna ask. Selune, do you have any? You healed. I had the. You see this wound, and I pointed out the necrotic thing. You healed it from me. Could you do the same for him? Because I think that's gonna stay, even if we get him alive.
Offhand, does lay on hands work? Can it work like lesser restoration? I feel like it does.
You can spend a chunk of it to do something.
Yeah.
I actually have her sheet pulled up on my pad.
Okay. That's the other thing we gotta do is lock down her spells.
Wait, no, it'd be her actions with it.
Because
She does have cure wounds.
okay. It would
How
be
does
lesser
the alphabet work,
restoration, gets
guys?
rid of poison.
Yeah. Lay on hands, you have pool of healing power that can restore 35 HP per long rest. Actually said a lot. As an action, you can touch a creature to restore any number of HP remaining in the pool, or you can spend 5 HP at a time to either cure a disease or neutralize a poison
Cure a
affecting
disease.
the creature.
Okay. So
Is it a disease?
5 well, yes.
I mean, death?
Neutralize a poison. It's a poison effect.
The poison, because it's going to stay whether we revive him or not. It's just
So-
going to kill him again.
She comes over with this silent rage behind her eyes. Her hands start to light up before pressing the magic into the chest. And as the light recedes from her hands, it lights up the wound, and the blackness slowly starts to fade away.
This feature has no effect on undead or comfort.
Yep, he's not undead.
He's not undead.
Gentle
He's
repose.
Makes you not become undead. It protects you from it.
So he can't be turned. Like, a necromancer can't come over and use animate dead on him.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
You don't know where he's at.
Okay, fuck him.
Right.
It's the big bad, the necromancer.
Every time.
Every
I
time.
have suspicions.
And valid ones at that.
Necromancer.
You got anything else?
I cast Mending.
You want me to do a perception check for Vern?
Can I assist with that?
I would
No,
send
you're
Wick
staring
out.
at Jackal. No.
I would send Wick out, but he's just going to eat him, so.
Uh,
I mean, numbers eat birds.
I can.
Ooh, 22.
22. You notice that the forest is very quiet around you guys? And it's weird, as you would think, like, as loud as this lemur folk is. You see a tiny blip of gray and white swinging between the trees. And as this is maybe another hour of you guys sitting there, as he starts to breach the tree line, his wings are currently out and he's not making any sound as he's gliding through the air. And he lands quickly and just like, "Hello, Vrix!
Hello, Vern.
You said you needed help?
Yes.
I'm just gonna point to the group.
Hello, Vrix!
Ever.
Hello.
Why so glum?
That.
I reference his body.
Oh, he's asleep. Wake him up.
He's not sleeping.
What do you mean?
He's dead, Vern.
Dead?
Yeah,
Oh,
dead.
that
They want you to bring him back.
We were hoping you could help us.
Just kind of comes over, sees the mess, just presses like his fingers, tries to stir him. So, he was a very strong warrior. How did he die?
Devil.
He was stabbed.
He was stabbed by a devil.
Oh,
I know you follow Balinor, and I was hoping maybe you could bring him back.
how long did this happen ago?
2 days.
2 days. 2, 3.
3 days.
2 days of travel.
Okay. Come. He motions for you guys to follow him.
Yep.
Okay.
We will get Jack and we will follow.
So you guys, as he leads you through the brush and the quick couple turns of the foliage, and the ruins in this place almost feel like a maze as you guys are winding through the pathways worth of broken, ancient buildings covered in moss and broken trees. It looks recently like a storm had blown through of some sorts. And you start to realize that the people who live here must know things by landmarks, because as you guys are picking his way, left at one broken branch and then right at a statue of an orc that it was like his face was cleft in twain. It's hard to pick out things from this area had disappeared off the map at least 800 years ago, and no one's been taking care of it So nature is just kind of reclaiming
Reclaim it, yeah.
what it is. So that's a DC 25 to try to find your way through this by yourselves. So as you guys come to this small clearing that's shrouded by thick bushes and very tall mixes between pine trees that's covered in moss and wide-stretching oaks, he leads you to the clearing where the Kaglani lay rest. And he motions for you guys to follow him, and there, to the northern side of this little sequestered village, you find what almost looks to be like a clearing of a large tree that had been cut down. And the back sector of it, this ring of this large oak that had been sundered, is maybe 20 foot across in radius. And it's been rotted and eaten through, but on the back half of it is growing a small sapling in its place. As nature always seems to find a way. And behind it is what looks to be, at first glance, seems to be a statue that has been started to take back by nature. And what should be facing, looks like it's a creature that's standing up on its hind legs, and its back is facing the tree. And where a head should be facing the opposite direction, the head is gone, but replaced with its area is the skull of a large elk, with massive horns scooping out, and bits of shell and vines and flowers just drape from it like some sort of naturalistic monument. Vern tells you to lay the body on the stump.
It's
like
a shrine.
It's a shrine.
It's an altar to Paladin.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me a Arcana check. Oh, who? It's because of your background.
I was going to say, would I have recognized this as an altar?
That one.
That one? You're just kind of lost in the splendor. You know, just from your background, that it's ritualistic in nature. But Vern tells you to lay the body out. As you guys start to prep, Vern pulls out what looks to be salt rocks and seashells, and starts to make a ring around the base of the trunk. And afterwards, he starts to explain to you that there is a power known as the Ritual Return. Those of whom have passed, it is possible to bring them back, but it is easier to try to communicate with the dead through means of trying to persuade them or have them remember why they need to come back. Is there anyone who wants to bring something to the altar?
At this point, Cosmai would leave the clearing.
Okay.
Yeah,
You don't
go.
want to do what you said?
If it comes to it,
Okay.
they can
Okay.
call me back, but I'm going to leave the clearing so I don't see any of this.
Okay. Turn to see you two first. Is there anything you want to say to call him back?
All the stuff I have planned is gone. Do you want to say anything?
I don't have. Because it's persuasion, it's
I mean, metagame, we know that Selune has something to say.
yes. I'm just trying to figure out
I feel
what
like
else we
Selune
can.
would have stepped
would
up
have gone first.
in
I'm
all
going to do
honesty.
her last.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Well, then Lesidi might have,
Hang on.
because she's very emotional. So Lesidi would
At this point, Lesidi comes forward. And she pulls out her lyre and starts to play a very somber melody.
Dark the stars and dark the moon. Hush the night and the the whales and the ocean tide. Tell the salt marsh and beat on your drum. God, their master, gone her son. Dark to light and light to dark. 3 black carriages, 3 white carts. What brings us together is what pulls us apart. God, our brother, God, our heart.
With that, the first of these 3 large salt crystals that are currently around the body of it lights up with a pale green light. And Vern turns to either of you.
Is there anything we can do? Can speak to him. Walk up. The mask is intact. Hello. I didn't really know if you can hear me, but sorry that I kept things from you. I'm not ready for you to go yet. You know, I've been telling you all that I never really had much of a family. At least not one in the traditional sense. And it seems that every time I do have a family, or people that I can call family, I end up getting them killed. And this is just par for the course at this point. I know I haven't known you for very long, but it truly feels like you're a brother. And I never had a brother. And I don't want to lose one that I just got. And if you do come back, I promise I'll not be hiding things from you anymore. I still think that there's a lot that you want to do that not that I want to do. A lot that we could learn from each other. And if it means anything, that's a promise I have. And I'll take out my blade and I'll put it on his chest.
Roll me a persuasion.
Can I guide this myself?
Mm-hmm. You release the black dagger with the red hilt onto his chest. The second very light source lights up as the second component is brought to the ritual. They drop everything in a tense moment. Gosh, how dare. You step back from the altar. Selune steps forward, drawing her claymore in front. She holds it out. Takes a long sigh, but her grip is steadfast on the sword. And she stares out upon it. There's a level of strength that is asked of us. To take up arms, continue to serve the people of the country, an ideal. But no matter how strong we are forced to be, we are pitifully weak in the face of the establishment. They have their claws in everything. You told me to burn them down, but in truth, I can't do this without you. So I command you, Jackal, to come back and help me finish the job. I command you to not leave me alone in a country that worships the church that has wronged us so. You're the only person I can trust in this. She sheathes the blade. Third comes to pass. There's a moment as the wind kind of swirls around you as the cluster of leaves kind of flushes up and rests and settles in the space. You want to roll it or should I?
No, you roll it.
Okay.
Do you want to tray?
Okay. Moments pass. Ticks on. Cosmai, you hear this silence as the collective breath is just held amongst the space. You think it's over, that maybe a time of sorrow and grief should subside. And in an instant, you start to see Jackal's chest rise and fall. I rolled a natural 10, by the way.
Oh! Ooh, right that line. So you call all the successes?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I rejoin the cool kid table?
Yes, you can.
You can come back to the cool kid
The living kid
table.
table. The living kid table, sorry.
Dead Rogue Society is over.
So you guys are turning back and looking back and forth.
Oh, Jesus. Thanks for keeping me company.
I just joined them again.
Hey, shit, guys.
We do have a box of tissues.
So I guess I come too.
Uh-huh.
So. It was just through the mask, eyes are wide,
It's funny that you say that. Your mask isn't there.
It's not.
Nope.
It was a second ago, now it's not.
Yep. There's a collective moment as they are double glancing and checking, oh my shit, this actually worked. They look back at you and the rest is gone.
There it is. Did we win, or?
Leslie's
We did now,
already
I-
sobbing.
Oh yeah, no, she full on tackles you and gives you a massive hug.
I imagine I feel like shit.
Oh yeah, no. With the components of Raised Dead, you have currently a -4 exhaustion.
Okay. But that's how I tried to eat my pen. I am all shaky. That was intense.
Mm-hmm.
Just- What happened? We are alive, right? This isn't some hell. That.
Well, that's up to... Depends on who you ask, really.
That's not.
Oh, sorry.
Oh God. And I look down, and I imagine I haven't really been cleaned up too much other than a little prestidigitation, and I just look like shit.
Yeah. The mark of where you got stabbed
Yeah, just.
it's healed over, it's no longer pussing out like black ichor.
If possible,
Yeah, no.
like a scar. That just,
Yeah, no, you're gonna get a scar.
Alright, yeah. Oh fuck. Thought I had him.
Nearly had us.
fuck are we?
Hello! You Praise be to Balador!
Praise be to...
Praise be to the host. Yes?
Take the host.
You're going to feel woozy for a couple of days. Yes, days. It's just relax. Get your sleep if you can. And don't go swimming, especially after you eat.
I love you, Bird.
Good to see you, little guy.
By the way, those 2 diamonds got consumed in the
I think those are in the...
Yeah,
yeah.
It got consumed.
Well, she would have given you guys that and then left.
So, I got... What's that stacker?
That's currently on your chest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I got resurrected by... Burn?
Well, we didn't have that many options.
Yeah, we didn't have that much.
So we came to the best.
Oh shit, put this down because I am shaking. Clearly. Oh.
I pull out my bottle of strong ale from Thaddeus. Care for a drink?
Yes, please. Oh. And I like take a big swig that I'm clearly not ready for.
Vern takes it from your hands and just laughing at it.
If what I'm
Save some for us.
Oh,
That was definitely payment.
I mean,
how'd you like that last bottle?
Oh, that was gone weeks ago.
I could have went to bed. Also, told you so. They're fine. Since everyone was giving me crap about introducing alcohol to the folk.
well, I mean, we did see a tree split by lightning. Could have been him.
Sure.
This is awkward. I'm going to go let you have a moment.
Thank you.
Takes the bottle of wine with him.
So, we won. It's taken care of. No more imps.
Hey.
Oh god. Fuck those little bastards.
Hey.
So, I guess thank you. I didn't expect everyone to come for his trouble. Do I see like Cosmai just off in distance?
Cosmai is just not there.
No. You're like out of eye shot, or you're just
Yeah,
like
like
okay.
I'm out of the clearing beyond some trees.
How far?
Like from the clearing, maybe 20 feet.
So I guess
Can I cast
Like close,
message?
like close enough, but you still can't like see.
She's outside of the
Oh.
trunk.
Tell you that to come back.
as this is happening, Jackal's doing like everything's hazy. I imagine just kind of doing like a mental head count. Like you see, I'll go look at panic. Like, where's Cosmai?
That way.
Not wanting to partake.
Thanks for a second. I guess that makes sense.
And at
I
that
think
point,
this
I'm gonna
belongs
appear at
to
like
you.
the edge of the clearing.
Kindly.
I'm gonna appear at the edge of the clearing.
Before you do, roll me a perception check.
Eating ground. Okay, 16.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So as you're hearing words start to be cast back and forth, you look up, kind of beside yourself, and you see a figure standing on a wall maybe 30 feet away. Kind of motionless, shrouded, cast by shadows. In a cloak, not moving. You're not 100% sure if it's a figure or it could be a shadow, a statue.
really big apple. No. I'm just gonna stare at it.
Mm-hmm.
Does it move?
Nope.
Standing outside of the clearing.
Mm-hmm.
If I blink, does it stay? Or is it gone?
It's stationary.
Stationary. Do I sense anything from it? Just as a general.
Do you want to burn a spell for like to see if it's
See if I have
Detect
that.
demonic, angelic? There's detect good and evil, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't pack that one for today.
Okay.
I did pack
You have
detect magic.
I don't know if that.
Don't you?
would
You also have
qualify.
like a detect undead.
Not. Don't think I packed that one.
I thought it was a
yeah,
channel divinity.
detect good and evil.
Oh, I thought
Turn
that was part of
undead
her-
is
Oh, okay.
Turn
the
undead.
channel divinity.
Yeah, I packed detect magic for today.
Mm-hmm.
But I
You
don't-
burned that?
I don't know if it'll count though, right?
I mean, you'll detect
I
magic.
mean, it'll detect magic. I don't know
If it has any magic
If
on
If
it.
it's magic or if you're just seeing things.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Okay.
In all honesty, like we're in a fucking forest. It could be anything.
Up to
So I'm
you.
just gonna stare at it.
Okay.
Let me double check something with clerics.
Or tell anyone else. It's like, do you see that?
There's no one else around me.
You have
It's
your
just
earrings.
me.
You do have the
Did I
message.
hear any of
Yeah.
what happened here?
All three.
Really don't think I have anything for that on the clerics.
Like Lydia made
Probably
me
not.
cry.
That was a good one.
Need a shot.
Yeah, I ain't
Like,
got anything for that.
Ooh.
Yeah, no,
Need more food.
I'm not gonna bother
Okay.
with it.
So you just go and return
I'm
to
just
the
gonna
group.
stare at it. Since it's not moving and I'm still hearing their voices, I'm just gonna slowly turn my head and then walk back.
Okay.
And then as I'm walking away, I've lost all eye contact with it, but I'm gonna glance back.
Gone.
Gone.
Fucking knew it.
Alright. I'm gonna step at the edge of the clearing, wondering what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see Jackal sitting up or whatever, and I'm just gonna stay at the edge.
Okay.
So how you feeling?
Like dog shit. But I'm feeling
Dog shit that's been out in the sun for 3 days.
Yeah.
yeah. Trying to do my best, like woken up at 5 in the morning after going to bed at 3 depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, what a mood.
Kind of pat my face again. It's like, alright. Oh, shit. I guess he broke my mask.
He?
The thing.
I meant it.
No, it was here a minute ago.
Ooh.
Look around for it.
Investigation check.
Oh, with the.
Okay.
If I can pick it up. Oh, hey. That's... $26.
Gone. It's weird because recollection-wise, you remember it clearly being on Jackal's face.
I left it there.
Gwen.
Well,
Oh, well,
I'll
did it fall?
I'll take off my circlet that he carved for me, and can I Druid craft will it to kind of grow some like bark and vines to kind of make some sort of mask with like moss designs.
It'll take maybe like a good 10 minutes because it's a cantrip, but you...
Put a little spider engraved on it to commemorate how we met.
I'll allow it.
I mean,
It's not much, but what you gave to me,
that's
I'll
sweet.
get back.
You'll get it back, but I appreciate it. So, yeah, not winning any beauty awards. Just just dissolves, and you see, like, for a second, like, there's a version of the face that, like, the scar, like, he conjures without the scars before resettling into, let's find out.
So,
Darker
disguise.
places.
And then disguise.
Well, changelings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like...
So it's like his natural face full of scars, and then you see it flicker to,
A regular changeling.
well, without the scars. What it could look like, and it lasts for just a second, because he's kind of like mentally resetting himself, I guess.
As
So
one would.
the
Spinning slashes.
humanoid, Viking braids, shit
Oh,
like that.
that's Ragnar.
Yes, it is.
Yes, okay. Love Vikings. Humanoid, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah. But the mask gonna adjust it. Oh, well. That's ironic. Thank you. Fuck.
Least I can do.
I guess I owe you all. We'll get into more details of that later. And for someone who's been sitting still for 3 days,
Yeah.
I need a nap.
Bit stiff.
Being dead's hard. That would be some thing.
Lesidi pipes up. What did you see?
A lot of gray.
Cosmai's just at the edge of the clearing, arms crossed, a giant frown on her face, like clearly not happy.
Mom is angry.
Not angry.
Disappointed.
Just disappointed.
Disappointed.
I'm not
Let me
angry.
I'm not
correct
angry.
myself.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, I'm not angry. Just disappointed.
Mom is disappointed. That's what's going on right here.
That's all.
There we go. It was like a big gray wasteland. Occasionally see figures in the distance just kind of staring off into nothing or just wandering. Walked for what felt like forever. Found a it's like almost like segments of ruins, just shutting up, moving over here and there, and there's a wall, flat stone wall almost, and I saw someone, something on top of it. Do I remember this like perfectly clearly, or
Yeah.
okay? And he was the only one there who talked to me. It was strange. Talked like he knew me. Like, you figure you meet some mysterious figure after death, and they're gonna talk all formal, like, oh, child of mine, or some shit like that. But he talked like I was just a friend at the bar. Called me kid. It's weird. Wouldn't give me his name. Which at that point I can barely remember mine. And, gave me, check my pockets, find a thing.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
Pulls out what looks to be like a 6 or 7 inch long needle or shiv at first glance that's very thin. And second glance, it's a bone about yay long. It's dark black and gray, cracked in a few places. The leather wrapping cording that's aged by time and maybe a little bit of blood and dirt in it. And the tip of the bone has been filed down into a lockpick.
He gave this to, chucked it at me really, but I got it. And a door appeared in the wall. I used it on it. That's the last thing I really remember. Stepping through. fucking hate magic. But I'm here. Ugh.
You sit up, it's just achy and
Fire.
fire down your back.
Does this story
Ring a bell or anything?
strike any bells?
Roll a religion check.
I mean, okay.
You can if you want.
You told me to consider it a trade. So.
Okay.
What'd you get?
No, it's the hearing
Mm-hmm.
aspect of this whole thing scenario. History, you said?
Uh-huh. No, religion.
Religion, sorry.
Get to use my deck again.
17?
17?
7.
21.
21? You both know that what the Grey Wasteland that he's mentioning sounds like these stories of Taldore. It's the realm of the dead, where people go. It's not a consequence. It's not a. It's just a plane of true neutral existence where the dead go to rest.
Limbo.
No.
Not limbo.
Not limbo. There's no heaven or
dead.
hell
That's what I called it
in
too.
Eberron.
Okay.
It's just is. It's not a penalty, it is not a gift, it's the dead just go and live there in peace.
Just stay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Sounds
really
legit.
big waiting room.
Exactly. It's the just stay.
Have you it's pretty closer to the Roman realm of dead where it's just the fields where you go
Yeah.
and you find peace. And if you do some really messed up shit, then that's where
Like
the
Fields of
penance fall,
Elysium.
but yeah. But it just is. And the
Sounds
longer
good.
that you stay there, you lose your sense of apathy. Because it's just endless.
So you lose yourself essentially.
Yep.
You lose your self
Your will
awareness
to come
and
back.
your will to
Mhm.
come.
Yep.
Sounds like a lot of it.
The sound
Makes
of
as much
the
sense as the rest of it.
figure is a little off-putting. Frosia, you feel like you've heard a story mentioned of one of these figures before, but it's not quite striking a bell.
I'll give his physical description and all that.
The shadowy figure.
Let me double check.
What did you roll before?
7.
7? Yeah. You
Yeah.
don't care.
She doesn't care about the
Way-
undead.
I'm way in
You're
the
way
back.
checked out.
I'm way in the back, debating on using calm emotions on myself. Haven't casted it yet, but just kind of like.
Yeah, so he was
I can't make flowers with crystals.
a
I
slender
could.
I
figure.
wanted to make like a ring of flowers around her to calm her down, but I don't think that would work.
You can make pretty lights.
I would really pretty. Okay.
Do you want me to just
It's like one of those things where it's like
Reiterate?
I'm angry and
I'm wondering everyone
talking.
would set
Alright.
me off.
I know that's obviously.
It's that that quiet raging anger where if you do anything,
Yes, that is the horrible anger.
she's just standing in the back.
simmering?
Yep. Not saying anything, not doing anything, just
That's
in the
the
back,
It-
frowning, arms crossed.
Which
Wants to just leave, but knows that she can't because 1, she's not gonna get through the forest alone, and 2, all of her idiotic friends are here, so
Vern
Yeah,
kind of
stay.
sees you and crawls
She
up the
calls
side and
us
just
friends.
offers the wineskin.
take a big.
and the reason Jackal's not like it's because we actually had this conversation in character.
We did.
So there's
Yes.
understanding dawning like
like 3 giant gulps
Yep.
of this wine.
So this guy, he's really slender. He wore a really heavy cloak with a large cow. It was dark green?
Mhm.
No, I'm doing this in character trying to
Yeah.
recollect. I couldn't really. It seems like there were shadows collecting in the cowl. I couldn't really get a good look at him until I was on my way out.
In a what? In a cow?
Cowl.
Cowl.
Yeah,
Okay.
with an
I was utterly
Yeah,
confused.
yeah,
utterly
yeah,
confused.
talking cow
So-
brought me back to life.
So Kingdom Hearts 2 Organization 13, where the hoods are up, you can't see into the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
It all goes back to Kingdom Hearts.
can I like
I mean, at me.
I try to jig my memory and just
Yeah, roll a religion check.
Just smack
Well,
yourself,
like-
maybe it'll work.
more that mention of his face as I was walking out. Would that be perspective, religion?
It would have been a perception, but since I told you a glimpse of what he would look like, you would have seen what you saw.
Okay.
But now that you're in the world of the material plane and you're starting to give a damn and your mind is starting to recollect things,
Yeah.
do a religion or a general intelligence. What's better? It's not at
I
disadvantage.
mean, it's intelligence either way.
Did I lose attunement on all my shit since I was dead?
Probably.
Most likely.
Yeah.
It makes
You
sense to
have
me.
to
I
read
just
into it.
Yeah.
figured I'd double check. So general
Mhm.
intelligence or religion?
I think religion is wisdom.
Religion is intelligence.
Oh, it is?
It's
Okay.
the same thing.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a whopping 9.
Okay.
God damn.
It's weird. It's
Oh.
not ringing a bell. The only thing that kind of makes sense as you're trying to put everything together in your muddled mess of a head right now is that the fact that he was the only person in color in that world
Mm-hmm.
is a little off-putting.
Yeah. I was mainly trying to connect the dots, like, you said it was a trade, I have this, and I can't find my mask.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Once you said it, I'm just like.
Am I able to loosely put those threads together, or? Okay.
Chopping on a pizza roll.
Son of a bitch.
Does that added description make it sound any more familiar to me, or is it just still vague?
How much would your character know about? I'm gonna message something to you because I'm not.
Like,
gonna say
I remember what you said at work.
Ah.
I don't know.
Metagame.
Yeah, metagame. I remember what you said there.
How much would Frosia know about them? I don't think much.
Only what his mother would have told him. And knowing from the druids.
Not a whole lot.
I just don't. I don't know shit.
Do you mind if I take a look at that?
Sure.
The pic, and I'm
Okay.
gonna ritual identify it.
And thinking about all this, Jackal kind of like has a moment, like expression sours. One of the first things he told me was that they're not there. I think he meant my family didn't go to the same place I went. Wherever I was, Taldore or whatever. Would I understand the silver flame correlation of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which means that even in fucking death, can't see everyone again. The silver flame took that too.
I'm confused. Like Orlando is confused.
So, Jackal's explained that like his family died in a
Yeah.
silver flame ride on the Changeling.
I remember this. I understand the
Yeah.
connotation. I just
So
can't.
the figure, explaining it out of character just to get the point across. The figure, one of the first things he said to me, because at that point I was looking for any sign, semblance of my family and my friends that died in that fire.
Yeah.
He said they're not here. I don't know if he actually said so in so many words, but that means basically that they got joined with the silver flame.
What does that mean? That's the part that I'm getting confused.
Something to do with the silver flame's religion and where people go when they die, when they follow that or are purified, I quote by that.
Yeah, Selune would have piped up by now, and she explains that they believe that when a person who is brought into the silver flame. When they pass on, they don't go to Taldore. Their spirits are joined with the flame. Instead of going there, they go back to the essence of like this force that is just in existence.
Hmm?
So
Turn what down?
it's
Oh, no, not
possible.
Oh,
No, if anything, I'm warm.
oh
Yeah.
sorry.
If the cleric did some sort of purification on their bodies, their spirits might have been claimed for the flame.
Mm-hmm.
Yet another reason to not like the silver flame.
I mean,
As if we needed another.
Yeah.
Yet another reason the dead just are dead.